Hey kids, how are you doing today? I have a helper with me, McKenna. She's going to help us make mug cakes today. Awesome thing about a mug cake is you do not need the oven, just the microwave. So that's great. So it'll be super easy. So let's first make sure we have all our supplies. Not too many, just basic supplies you have. We've got our sugar, just white sugar, flour. We've got some spray to spray the mug. If you don't have spray, you can use butter, you can use oil. Baking powder, vanilla, oil, milk. We do not have cow's milk, but we have almond milk. So based on the recipe, you can use any kind of milk that you have, right, McKenna?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And McKenna's favorite, colored sprinkles. And then for supplies, we're going to need obviously our mug. And then we need lots of measuring spoons. So I need a tablespoon, a half tablespoon, a teaspoon, a half teaspoon, a fourth teaspoon, and an eighth of a teaspoon. If you don't have an eighth of a teaspoon, because not everybody has one, it's super teeny, you can use half of a fourth teaspoon. That's an eighth teaspoon. And then we need a stir, which McKenna's going to be in charge of stirring. So you grab that. And then you're going to need a knife. And then obviously a microwave. So first step is we're going to add our dry ingredients to our little bowl. So we just have a little tiny bowl here. You don't need a big bowl. And there's a couple options here. You can stir it in a separate bowl and then pour it into your mug, or you can do everything inside of your mug. I prefer to spray my mug and then stir in a separate bowl and then put it into my mug, and then that way it won't stick as much. But you can also do everything in the mug, whatever you want. So you're going to first start by spraying the inside of your mug. You want to give it a really good spray. Make sure you get all the surfaces of your mug. Any mug will do. And then go ahead and put that aside. Now again, if you want to make everything in your mug, you can. Today we're going to use a separate little bowl. So I'm going to move that out of the way to keep our working space clean. And don't forget, almost forgot, wash your hands before you start. So we washed our hands, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so let me get this out of the way, the mug. All right, so McKenna's going to stir, and I'm going to add the ingredients. So the first ingredient is 4 tablespoons of flour. So I've got my flour in a separate container here. So I'm going to do 4 tablespoons, and then McKenna's going to stir. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one. And then I'm going to use the back of my knife to make it even. We're going to make sure it's exactly, flat. That's right. Flat. 1.
Always flat.
What number is this?
2.
Kenna's going to help me count today.
3.
And 4 tablespoons. Awesome. All right. And then as always, once we're done with an ingredient, we're going to go ahead and take it. Set it aside to keep our workstation empty. So we're going to put that aside. Next, we're going to add our baking powder. So make sure it's powder, not soda, baking powder. I'm going to use our 4th teaspoon measure. And again, this has that nice lip in it that you can scrape it against. So you get a nice even top. If not, you can use the knife like you did with the flour. We're going to go ahead and put that in. McKenna, if you want to give it a little stir, and I'm going to go ahead and put this back here, out of my way. And then our next ingredient is our white sugar, 2 teaspoons. So I've just got my nice big container of white sugar here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my teaspoon measure. And again, if you want to make the top even, you're going to just take that knife and scrape it. 1 teaspoon, scrape it, 2 teaspoons. And again, take that sugar, get it out of the way so it's not in the way. All right, our next is going to be our 3 tablespoons of milk. Again, cow's milk, almond milk, soy milk, coconut milk, whatever milk you have, you can use. Just make sure you give it a nice good shake. I'm going to go 3 tablespoons. All right, so we're going to go, count with me, McKenna.
1,
2, that one went a tiny bit over. 3. Okay, so we're going to get that out of the way. And then our next is half of a tablespoon of vegetable oil. So I'm going to grab my half tablespoon. I'm going to grab my oil. And I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. So if you're worried about overfilling, You can always pour over the sink or over something else and then pour it into your cup. So I'm going to get that out of the way. All right, almost done. And then the next thing we're going to do is vanilla. So this is where we need our little teeny tiny eighth of a teaspoon. It's super small. Go ahead and pour that in. It's super tiny now. A little drop, that's okay. It's vanilla. Vanilla is awesome.
Yeah.
We love vanilla. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So our final ingredient is going to be our sprinkles. Yay, colored sprinkles.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get our vanilla out of the way. Okay, and we're done with all of these measuring items, so we're going to get these out of the way as well. Keep our workspace nice and clean. All right, so we're going to add 1 teaspoon of sprinkles to the batter, and then we're going to sprinkle half a teaspoon on top. So this is 1 teaspoon. So in it goes. I'm just going to stir it up. All right, so we remembered earlier we sprayed the inside of our mug. Now we're going to put the batter inside of our mug. Can you pour it in there? Do you need me to help you? Yep. Pour it in. Good. While McKenna holds it, I'm going to scrape out any extra. Get it in there nice. Make sure you don't miss any of it. All right. And then I'm going to move this out of the way. All done. And then we're going to take, McKenna, do you want to sprinkle a half a teaspoon on top of the mug?
Yeah.
Of the cake? Sprinkle it on top. You can add as many as you want, or you don't have to add any on the top. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to put it in the microwave. No oven required. My microwave is a little weak, so I had to do it 1.5 minutes. So start with 1 minute. Test it by sticking a toothpick in. If it comes out clean, it's done. If it comes out with some batter on it, maybe it needs another 30 seconds. So I had to cook my mug cake for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And magically, I have one already done. Yay! So what you're going to do is when it's done, 1.5 minutes, the toothpick came out clean. What I would do is I would take a knife and get a parent, if you need help with this, and just run a knife around the mug to loosen it up, the mug cake. And then once it's cooled, maybe let it cool 3 or 4 minutes, cool to touch. Go ahead after you put your knife around it, take the cake upside down, put it on a plate, on a clean hand, shake it, other way, and there it is. There's your little mug cake. Kind of looks like a little cupcake. Can you see
Yummy.
it? Got sprinkles, super yummy. We're going to let McKenna enjoy this. And that is your recipe. So I will put the recipe in the notes. Feel free to have fun with it. You can have sprinkles, chocolate chips, anything that you want. There's
Gummy
tons.
bears?
I don't know about gummy bears. Those might melt. But definitely sprinkles or chocolate chips would be great. So enjoy. Can't wait to hear tales of you guys and your fun little mug cakes. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Chocolate chips melt.